Jackie, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for organising this beautiful venue. Who are you?
My name is Jackie-Wakeford Smith. I'm also known by the name of Simranjeet Kaur, which is my spiritual name. I'm a former police detective and I'm now a Kundalini Yoga Teacher.
For the sake of our viewers, what's the juice of your journey, of your story?
Wow, how much time have you got? I suppose the juice of my story is where I'm at now and what it took to arrive at where I am now. To go through a tremendous amount of pain for a very, very long time. To fully understand who I am and what I am as a woman, and I'm not sure I will fully understand that. But what I do know is today I'm happy and I'm content with life and I have peace. And to receive that now at this time in my life is a blessing and something I'm very, very grateful for.
You've mentioned two careers there. You've mentioned your former career as a police detective.
Yes.
And you've mentioned Kundalini Yoga.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about those two careers.
Well, Kundalini Yoga is now my love and my passion, and I hope now where my life will go. But in order to arrive there, I went through a 30-year career in the Metropolitan Police, where I started as a young woman. I was in my early 20s when I joined, and I didn't really know what life was going to throw at me. You don't when you put the uniform on, and we walk what we call the thin blue line, and it really is the thin blue line. So I went through a wonderful career actually. I was very blessed to serve in a role such as that. I was a uniform officer for a number of years, and I took promotion and I became a detective inspector at the very end of it. So it was a long journey, and it is a journey of complete service. It's something that you give your life to, and you give your time and your care, and a lot of heart too. A lot of heart that you keep inside because you're unable to expose it to the world. Because as a police officer, you're very neutral. We're trained to be neutral. But it left a lot of scars. Some are seen and some are unseen. But through that journey, I came across Kundalini Yoga, which has been an absolute blessing in my life, and has given me wonderful tools and techniques in order to remove what I would call the debris of everything that I was carrying from that policing career. Everyone will have their own perception of what that is, because we see television programs about policing. But policing is about serving society, serving humanity, and you get exposed to tremendous things. You see humanity in all forms, the rich, the poor, the weak, the vulnerable, the lonely, drug addicts, alcoholics, domestic violence, rape, murder. The list is endless, what humanity will actually do to each other. And it's not something that we talk about in the police. It's certainly not something that we talk about outside of the police, but it's something that we carry within us. And I cried many, many, many tears over that 30-year period with what I saw and what I was exposed to.
Was there a particular area that you specialised in?
Well, you specialise in all of it as you move through it, actually, because you become through the process of where I eventually arrived. And in order for me to become a detective inspector, I had nothing but a joy and a vibrancy in order to do the job because I loved it. And you can venture off in different avenues within it. I spent a number of years in uniform, so I learnt about dealing with what we call confrontation on the street, angry, violent people, sometimes at their worst. And you learn lots of tools and techniques yourself in order to deal with that, because ultimately you want to come out alive. I want to go home today, please. And I'll do my best to help you, but I would like to go home. And then I specialised in sexual offences, so that's rape and indecent assaults. I spent a lot of time in domestic violence as well, sexual exploitation. But I covered a whole host of things. You know, Metropolitan Police is huge, so there's lots of departments within departments, and some of those I cannot and will not talk about today. But my main speciality, for a better phrase, was sexual offences.
So I gather you've seen a lot of pain.
Yes.
And
yes.
What about your own pain?
Yes. Well, they say pain and love go hand in hand. And when you do a job like that, it is a job of service, and you have to draw on a strength. For me, it was about drawing on compassion and kindness. There isn't a single person on this planet that doesn't understand the language of kindness. They recognize it. There's times when I've had even street drinkers buy me a cup of tea when I've worked very, very long hours. So we're all on a level playing field. But what we don't talk about is our own pain. And certainly as a police officer, it wasn't something that you went and talked about at a dinner party, because you didn't want to relive what you'd been through during the course of your day. So some of it I dealt with through exercise and through general living. But as the pressures and the demands of the work became more, as society is speeding up and we all want more, we all want instant gratification, that means there's demands more on people. And so there was demands more on myself in the role that I was in. And in the end, I couldn't hold the pain for others, because my own pain now had become overwhelming, and that had to empty up and empty out of me, which is very difficult when it happens. And it becomes very public. As much as you want to hide it, you can't hide it. In the police, my colleagues knew. With the public, 9 out of 10 times your family or your friends know. So people do know, but a lot of people choose to ignore it because they don't quite know how to deal with it. So I learned very quickly the only person that was going to heal me was me. And there's a real strength in that can come out of that. I was blessed that I fell upon Kundalini Yoga, or Kundalini Yoga found me, I'm not quite sure which, but it arrived in my life. And as it started to empty out what I would call the debris of stuff that I had dealt with, and anyone watching this video, if you think about one incident that you have been through, that's what we go through every day. And I did for 30 years. So it took a lot of Kundalini Yoga to help clean me up. But along the way, I used traditional methods that are available on the NHS, such as counselling, CBT. I had to see other people that helped me. And there is a place for that. But actually, when you're at home, on your own, having those moments, there's only you. And it's about being able to pull on something that can pull you through. And that's what Kundalini Yoga did and does do for me. So it's become part of my life. Yogi Bhajan talks about doing sadhana every day, which is a spiritual practice. I do it because I love it. And I do it because it loves me. And so it becomes a relationship. And it becomes a very, very, very beautiful relationship. And so now I walk about in the world and I feel that I am blessed. I am blessed because of the exposure I had, but also the gift I received through it. And the gift I received was the blessing of my own life, where I now feel that I am able to experience love, but love for myself. and I'm able to experience compassion. And ultimately that's compassion for myself. And so that's a constant training, that's a constant monitoring. I mean, Kundalini Yoga, we say, is the yoga of awareness. It's not being aware of what your neighbour's doing or what your friend is doing. It's being aware of what you're doing. Where am I right now? How am I feeling right now? What am I thinking right now? What do I need to do in order to place myself in a position where I feel good and I feel happy? And what can actually help me to do that? And for me, it's the tools of Kundalini Yoga that do that very, very beautifully.
And now you teach Kundalini Yoga?
Yes, I do. You kind of find as the love grows for the practice, which it did, there's a natural wanting to share of it. So I have been teaching for quite a while, where now I've organised a course so we can go on to take students a little bit further in their own practice. And I enjoy teaching. I enjoy it as much as I did when I joined the police, which is great, actually. So, yes.
And what would you obviously talk about your past experience and your journey? What can people expect from your particular flavour of teaching, and to be with you and to learn the teachings from you?
In Kundalini Yoga, there's a phrase that you hear called "keep up." In the police, we had to keep up. As a woman, we had to be 10 times better just to be even acknowledged when I joined. I'm just having a memory recall there for a moment. So keep up is not about pushing yourself over the limit. In the teachings, I actually found that keep up means being kind, means being easy, effective, and projective for yourself. So anyone who chooses to sit with me, and everything's about a choice, anyone who chooses to sit with me, ultimately it's the language of kindness. And I would ask that you be kind to yourself and to those that you come to sit with within the group. And in that we'll have a natural flowness then of easiness, where you will automatically become effective and projective, and then you can sit in the grace of your own being. So that's the starting point for me. So I take it from the lovely phrase that Yogi Bhajan gave us, but I would like to use it in that way. Because that's what I need now. I need environments that are kind. I need people that are easy around me. I need people that are effective, that are actually going to show up and do what they say they're going to do. And projective, well, my own vision is this beautiful place that we sit at today, that this becomes a healing center where people can come and they can experience the teachings of Kundalini Yoga and they can heal themselves and take that into the world. So that's my vision. Yes.
And if people would like to get in touch with you about your work and how to access your work and this course,
yes,
how can they do that at this point?
Well, my work now is as a Kundalini Yoga teacher. My career with the Metropolitan Police is now finished, and I ask that people respect that and allow me to put that down, because that does attract attention, and that's finished now. So anyone who wishes to experience Kundalini Yoga can find me on oneself.yoga. There you will find the course that's now running this year, and I hope subsequently further, and other workshops that I'm now doing from the teachings of Yogi Bhajan.
Jackie, thank you very much.
Thank you. Waheguru.
Waheguru.